Good day, mate. Time to throw another shrimp on the old barbie. That's right, we're going down under it for this year episode. We watched Charlie's Farm, a movie that features a killer that looks like a homeless Sasquatch. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot needs it. Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the show where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. Joining me today, back again, normal like it should be. The universe is back to the way it rightfully is. Aaron Southworth is back.
Hey, yeah. I've been gone. I've been doing a lot of house stuff. I've been moving in, buying houses, putting in security systems.
Having one of your wedding anniversaries.
Wedding anniversary, 1 year wedding anniversary, full-time job. I'm back, baby! And, yeah, it's kind of funny because I just walked in the door and we did not have any pleasantries. Said, hey, buddy, how's it going? How's it going? We didn't even talk. We just sat back down, right into it.
Right.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah,
here we go.
Get back in the flow of things. You know, you gotta see how this goes. Aaron's got get that ring rust off of you.
Yeah, I kind of do. You know, it's kind of funny. You know, you do this every week for a year or over a year, and next thing you know, then you miss a couple episodes, and it's like, you kind of have to get back into it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Find the groove.
Find that groove.
All right.
How Aaron got his groove back. By a black man down in the Bahamas. I don't.
That sounds like an interesting episode
There
right
you go.
there. Yeah, I like where this is going. Tell me more.
So this week we watched Charlie's Farm. This was an Australian released movie.
Now, this was a fan recommended film, correct?
Yeah. It was on my radar. Like, I had put on my radar. It sat on my watch list for a while. I did get around to watching it, and then like a few days after I watched it, on our somebody on our Instagram popped up and said, "Hey, you guys need to check out Charlie's Farm." I was like,
Who was it that?
I tried to look up the name again, but I can't find that message.
Man, we're really bad at that.
Yeah.
So whoever recommended it, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And
So
please let us know who it was. So
it was suggested.
we should be a little more better at doing that. So sorry about that, buddy.
But yeah, so this was released December 4th in 2014. Like I said, it was in Australia. It's written and directed by Chris Sun, S-U-N. Average runtime 90 minutes. And you can find it on Amazon, YouTube, and Google Play. Unless, I don't know, if you do your Xbox.
No, I did Amazon.
Okay. Cast, there are some recognizable people in this movie.
Yeah, some pretty recognizable names.
The most recognizable on a universal basis is going to be Tara Reid.
Right.
She stars in this, and you should know who Tara Reid is. I'm not going into her. Then the other people that are going to be, for horror fans, that you're going to recognize, is definitely Kane Hodder. Who, for once, doesn't play the killer or the bad guy.
Yeah, which really surprised me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd never seen this movie. I don't know anything about it. And watching it, I was like, huh.
Yeah, when
he's
you first,
not
like,
the,
you
he's
see
not
Kane
the
Hodder,
killer.
like, oh, Kane Hodder's going to be the killer.
Yeah, of
But
course.
he's not.
It's going to be some way involved being the bad guy.
Besides acting in this movie, he was also the stunt coordinator, which isn't new. He does that a lot.
His bread and butter is stunt.
I mean, most of Friday the 13th and all horror movies, he's doing the stunt work as well. Another horror icon. It might not be a household name, but for diehard horror fans, you'll know him.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Bill Moseley.
Yep.
115 credits. This guy's done a shit ton of horror movies. We're talking, more than I can really name, but some of the big ones that I wrote down. He was in the 2007 remake of Halloween. He was in Army of Darkness, Devil's Rejects, and House of a Thousand Corpses.
That's probably his most
where he
notable
played,
horror work.
Otis.
Yeah.
Along with Robert Mukes, who we
Yes.
He was also in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where he played Chop Top Sawyer. Now, I would think that's probably his most famous. Cause
Really?
I could be wrong, but isn't that the guy who?
He's a
yeah, with the
dog
coat rack,
will hunt.
the coat rack, the hanger.
Yeah,
and
keeps
he's
light. I love that. I love that.
I want to
so
say that's
weird.
That's him. And then he's also in the remake of Night of the Living Dead, 1990, Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, and just another link this back with another person we interview. He's in the upcoming Death House, which is coming out.
Oh yeah,
so he'll be in that as well.
Kevin Caliber.
Yeah. Also King Hodder will be in that.
Yep.
And now the last person I will mention is the villain, the guy who plays the Charlie. Nathan Jones. Now, this guy, most people, maybe you might not have heard him, but if you're a wrestling fan, you've heard him. He was a professional wrestler back in the early 2000s. He is since going to acting. He's got 18 credits as an actor. He's actually from Australia, too, from Gold Coast, Queensland, which is where this movie supposedly takes place. So he's right at home.
Yeah.
As a wrestler, his gimmick was of an ex-con, which is actually the truth about this guy, because it's really interesting, because he actually was sentenced to 16 years in an Australian maximum security prison for 8 armed robberies between 1985 and 87, but he only served 7 of those before being released at the age of 25. So, and then he went on to, his nickname in WWE was the Colossus of Bogo Road, which is a title refers to Bogo Road Prison, which is where he served his time.
Right, and I remember his gimmick. He was only a WWE wrestler for a short time.
Very, very short time.
He had a run in at one of the WrestleManias where
he was aligned. They aligned him with the Undertaker briefly, and it just nothing. He had a match against Bill DeMott or Hugh Morris.
Yeah.
Beat him in his debut, and then this guy fell away.
He didn't even have wrestling outfit. He wore Adidas pants.
Yeah,
Adidas pants and no shirt.
Or
what a shitty outfit.
Yeah, and the one match he wore with the match with Bill DeMott, he had boots, MMA gloves, and yoga shorts, or the tight ass MMA pants.
Yeah, he did kicks and stuff. I mean, he was just a big guy.
He did train in MMA too as well, but he got in trouble. I mean, he was in trouble for steroids.
Oh, you think?
He was a power lifter.
That guy is juiced to the tits.
Yeah,
he's 350 pounds.
Yeah, 7 feet tall, 350 pounds.
Damn.
But besides this movie, he was also in some other big name movies too. Where
Mad Max Fury Road.
Where he played Rictus Erectus. He was in the 2011 remake of Conan the Barbarian.
Yep.
He was in The Condemned, which was another WWE movie starring Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he was in the 2004 Troy starring Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah. He's the big gladiator at the very beginning that Brad Pitt kills right off the bat. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's him. So that's basically, and the rest of the people are all Australian actors or something that, there's really nothing to say about them that you would really know. So, all right, that takes care of that. Let's dive into let's peel back the layers of this onion that is Charlie's Farm. The movie.
You make it sound like it's a deep movie.
Fuck, no,
anything can be further from the truth.
No,
There's one layer, and that's it.
It's one layer. It's very, very shallow. One layer. Yeah, you're right. I should have
It's like the skin of an apple. How about that? Let's just take a bite out of this shitty apple movie. All right.
It's a layer of film on pond scum.
Yeah, basically.
It's that little layer of slime on top of a
God.
pond. So the movie opens with some random couple hiding in terror from our killer, and this guy is trying to calm the girl down, hey, all right, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
be quiet,
she's and the bitch will not calm. I mean, she's like, shh, be quiet. They're under the boards, or they're hiding. And it seems like he's above them. It's kind of hard to tell.
At first it looks like they're hiding underneath the floorboard, and then they're they're in the same
building
level.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
It was poorly shot, but regardless, he's in the building. He's very close. You can hear him walking around, and she's, oh my God, I'm so scared. He's like, shh, be quiet,
shut the fuck up.
And she starts to nod. Yeah, okay. Oh my God, God damn.
That means fuck you. I'm out.
Shut up.
I'm out of here. So so he's like, all right, I'm gonna start looking for a way out. And he goes this doorway. As soon as he gets to the doorway, he's pulled into the darkness and he's killed. His head is tossed back into view.
Head chopped off.
Lands next to the girl.
Bowling balled the head over to the girl.
Yeah. She immediately gets up, runs away, and as soon as she does, she's impaled through the chest. She falls down the floor. Roll your opening credits. That's it.
So right off the bat, we got some kills.
Right off it wastes no time.
Yep.
So credits are over. We fade in on Tara Reid sunbathing on a raft in the pool while her boyfriend Jason and his friend Donkey drink beer and talk about going on a road trip. And then Terry's like, "Oh, that sounds like fun. I'll invite Mel. She'll love to go." Like the writing in this opening scene is so like juvenile and contrite.
Yes.
It's like so obvious. Like really. Like, where are we going? Road trip? Okay, let me invite Mel. She'll love to go on these things.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yay!
And, man, before we go on, and I'm going to mention it again and again, I couldn't stop looking at it. The real horror of this movie is Tara Reid's disgusting body. Oh, my God. I feel bad saying that, but at the same time, this lady has got one of the worst eating disorders I've seen in a while. Holy God! You can see the bones poking out of her shoulders, her ribs, her legs look like toothpicks. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, she used to be like a sex symbol.
Yeah, she was for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, she was American Pie sexy. She did Van Wilder. She was sexy. She was, Oh,
she was hot in Van Wilder.
Oh, yeah. Good-looking woman. And, obviously, she's got a very well-documented, like, spiral, out-of-control lifestyle. But man, is she so skinny.
Yeah.
She's a walking skeleton. It's awful. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to keep talking about it. But yeah.
So basically, Donkey convinces Jason to secretly take them to Charlie's farm, not to tell they don't tell the girls about it. They say that they're going to go out west, horseback riding, fishing. That's what they tell the girls.
Right.
So we jump ahead to 6 a.m. the next morning, which, by the way, looks bright, way too bright and sunny to be 6 a.m. I mean, it's like 2 in the afternoon, obviously.
Well, they are down under.
True, but 6 a.m. is 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually up at 6 a.m. this morning because I couldn't sleep, and I took my dog out, and it's, like, dark out still. I mean, it is not bright and sunny like it is in this. Regardless, they meet up at Tara's house, and this is where we meet Mel, Tara's friend, who Donkey has, like, a major heart-on for. And she gets like the slow-mo Dreamweaver walking introduction. We also learn that Donkey's real name is Mick, but he's called Donkey because supposedly he has a massive cock.
Because he's got a big old hog.
Yeah, so they call him Donkey. So they load up Jason's Jeep, and off they go on their adventure. Cue cliche driving montage.
Oh, man, this is like an advertisement for backwoods Australia.
Yeah.
Like this montage.
It's a tourist ad for, like, visit Australia.
So I just want to mention this before we go further. So they've basically made this very, very clear that this place is way in the middle of nowhere. Like, you have to travel hours to get there. They even mentioned, we've been driving for 5 hours. How long did you say it was? Oh, it's going to be 8 hours. They've been driving forever.
Yes.
This montage is very long.
Yeah, it is a pretty long montage.
This gives you the idea that they're way, way, way out there.
Out in the outback.
Way out in the outback where nobody's going to be around, and it takes a very long time to get there.
Exactly. So, also, side note, they're driving with the Jeeps top down, and now this isn't like a Jeep Cherokee, or it's like a straight up Jeep, like Jeep Wrangler type Jeep. And they don't have trunks, really, but supposedly it's loaded up with all this camping gear, which you never see. It's like front seat is filled, and the back seat is Donkey and Mel. That's it. They have no gear on them that you can see in this Jeep.
Well, it's weird. They show them packing it up when Mel shows up.
Yeah,
they show you packing the Jeep.
But when they drive, every time they're driving the Jeep, there's nothing there. There's no room for their gear and all of them in the Jeep. I mean, there's no luggage, there's no tents, there's no sleeping bags, there's nothing. So they stop at this roadside bar somewhere along their
Not too
journey.
far away from their destination.
Yeah, maybe halfway, 3/4 away. It doesn't fucking matter. So Donkey goes around. He's talking to all the locals while the other three are sitting at the table finishing like food and drinks and whatnot. And this is where Donkey meets Old Blue, an older local who dressed like Crocodile Dundee's uncle.
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So Blue gets real agitated when Donkey asks him for directions to Charlie's farm. And Blue's like, "Don't go out there. You should pack up and just go back home." Tara hears this.
Don't go out there, mate.
Yeah. Tara hears this and she starts asking, like, what's Charlie's farm? What is this place? Jason tries to, like, deflect the questions by, like, shepherding them outside, like, oh, well, let's just go. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about Charlie's farm. And they keep saying, Charlie's farm. Charlie's farm. Charlie's fucking accents. Jesus.
You're probably talking
Charlie
more Boston.
Farms.
More Boston.
Well,
Yeah. So outside, now there's local who looks like he just crawled out of like a coal mine.
He's really dirty.
He's filthy.
Yeah, he's just covered in dirt. Everyone else looks normal.
Relatively clean, sitting in a bar, restaurant.
He just looks he's been rolling around outside of the dirt.
Yeah. So he follows them outside. Now this is where Tara and Mel demand to know what Charlie's farm is, why do they want to go there, and why did everybody in the bar get so worked up when they heard the name brought up. Now, the coal miner comes out, meets up with the group, and tells them that Blue knows more than he's letting on, that he was actually there, but they are better places to go than the farm. Just let it go and move on. He's trying
to warn him.
Yeah.
He's trying to, like, hey, guys, don't do this.
Yeah.
He's trying to be nice.
And then, really, for no real reason, Donkey just becomes like an asshole.
Yeah, he just becomes... And,
he
like,
starts mocking him and, like, just harassing this guy.
pushes him.
Pushes him around. He's like, there's really no... The guy was like a dick about it. He was
No.
like, "Hey guys, listen. He was
Don't-
there. You know, he's a little trauma. He's actually being fairly nice and polite
Yeah.
about this. Dog is like, fuck you, and like push you around.
And you're getting the impression that Donkey's like a nice, lovable guy. The kind of impression you're getting.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
getting-
he's a-
and all of a sudden he's a dick.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
At first, he's like the jolly sidekick.
He's a big dude.
He's tall and he's heavier.
Beefy.
He's beefy. He's not
Real
fat. He's
beefy.
just beefy. But he's just like the lovable sidekick,
Yeah.
fun-loving guy. And he turns into an asshole. So the coal miner's in like, fuck it then. You want to go there? Here's how to get here.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, fuckface.
Yeah, go get killed, asshole.
So the miner gives Donkey the directions, and other bar patrons they show like other people sitting around outside the bar looking on, and the look on their face is like, holy shit, he's telling them how to get there. Like they have these complete looks of shock.
This
and
guy
terror,
just killed him. He
yeah,
just
oh
said,
my
gave
god,
him a
He's
death
just, like,
sentence.
it's really weird. Like
Yeah,
why?
so there's a big aura about Charlie's farm.
So they drive off, blah, 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 and we're jumping to them sitting around a small campfire. Now, this is, again, where I sign out. They're sitting in folding chairs out in front of tents, and, like, where the fuck do these come from?
That really
it
bothers
me.
you. Yeah.
It really bothers
It's
me.
been other movies where this has bothered you before, too.
It's like, it's not that hard to show, like, gear. Just have in the trunk or something. Don't have shit materially come out of nowhere. It's like, ugh.
Materialistically?
Materialize.
Oh, okay.
Materialize.
I like
know.
materialistically better.
Materialistically?
It's like a new word we're going to make.
So finally, Donkey goes and starts telling the girls the story behind the farm, and that back in the 80s, John Wilson, who was allegedly an American, lived on this farm with his wife and son Charlie.
And this is where we get like a flashback.
Yeah, it goes
scene.
into a big flashback.
So now we're with this Bill Moseley.
Yeah, now we catch Bill Moseley
Moseley's
plays
here now.
John Wilson. John's this fucked up guy who supposedly like kills backpackers who stumble onto his farm. Now this whole flashback, the flashback scenes. There's two flashbacks throughout this movie, and to me, there's very distinct style to these flashbacks. To me, they look like straight out like a Rob Zombie movie.
Exactly.
Did you get that too?
Exactly. And this is I don't care, listeners. I'm not a big fan. You know, I don't like this style, but you know, a lot of people like it. I'm not into it.
This would be like if Halloween was set in Australia. This would be the Rob Zombie Halloween, because it's just like Charlie as a kid, all fucked up, as white trashy, dirty, white trashy, just like the Rob Zombie Halloween.
And I don't like. It's like it's a house in the middle of nowhere, crazy family. Look at all the dirty. It's like shit's all gross.
Everything's
and knocked
dirty,
over,
broken,
and broken and rusty, and you know,
fly
and
paper everywhere with flies
the
on it.
lighting's real bad and dark, and they're crazy people, and they're playing bad jazz music and singing and being loud, and
being drunk, loud. Yeah, it's just awful.
It's been done. It's been done. It's been done.
Exactly.
I'm so over it. Let's move on. Like, I'm tired of like rusty, dirty shit being scary. And how many fucking times in this movie have they shown rotting corpses of animals on the side of the road?
Yeah, they do that
showed
a lot.
of that during that montage.
A lot of kangaroo roadkill.
Yeah,
and
and then
stuff.
cattle, and then a pig, and then, you know, just, god damn it.
Yeah, a lot of roadkill. So yeah, the flashback, you know, like you touched on, John's playing the piano, which he's just like smashing keys while his drunken wife like dances behind him, like licks the back of his head, which is really weird. Meanwhile, there's this woman,
and he looks exactly like Otis again.
Yeah,
I mean, it's again the Otis character from Devil's Rejects and
House of Thousand Corpses.
He looks almost exactly the same. The long stringy hair, the beard. It's it's like you just picked him up and you put him in Australia. That's pretty much it.
Otis just changed his name to John.
Yeah.
So there's this woman who's tied up and restrained on this bed in like this adjoining side room. She's all bruised up and beaten, and she's got like one tit hanging out. And sitting like next to her on this wooden rocking horse is child Charlie, just rocking back and forth, looking at her. Again, supposed to be all creepy and weird.
He's got yellow eyes.
Yeah,
and he's caked in dirt.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's about 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he's you can say he's dirt. His skin's all dirty, and he also he's just got like one, he's way too old to be playing with a rocking horse at 10 years old, and two, he looks like they just smear like oatmeal on his face.
Yeah.
Like
his
he's
face
supposed to be
is
like
sort of deformed.
Yeah,
or
he's supposed to have a deformity.
Yeah,
but it just
doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But now again, they do reference that he is retarded.
They do keep saying
and
retarded.
they say retarded over and over and over.
Where's
again.
the retard? Where's the retard? Where's the retard?
Yeah. So. Okay, so he's got some sort of mental deficiency,
Yeah.
so he can still play with the rocking horse. I'm going to let him play with the rocking horse, Marshall.
All right. I didn't take into account that. Okay. So now there's an exchange between the girl on the bed and John, and basically we learned that John's killed her boyfriend and the rest of her hiking friends, and he's raped her a few times. The other big revelation is that the family is a family of cannibals, and says that tells the girl that his wife is preparing Charlie's favorite dish, backpacker spare ribs. And now I'm skipping ahead in the flashback. An angry mob of townsfolk, they show up at the Wilson farm. They're like, John's like, get the retard and get out of here. So even the father calls him the retard.
They
get so mad when everybody else calls him retard, but it's okay if they
all
do
they
it.
do is call him retarded.
Yeah.
They don't refer to him as, they don't call him Charlie. They
think
call
the
him the retard.
The mother calls him Charlie, but the father's like, the retard.
Mm-hmm.
So John goes out to confront the mob, and the mob is led by a younger Blue.
The guy who looks like Crocodile Dundee's uncle.
Yeah, and they're all armed with various firearms, and
there's like 20 people, 30 people. It's a big mob.
Yeah, it's a big mob. And they're accusing John of killing all these people. And, of course, John denies this and that they're just simple farmers. But when asked about what happened to the farmhand, John tells them they went crazy, so he shot them. What? I guess in Australia, maybe are you just allowed to shoot people that you deem crazy? Like,
you're acting a little strange.
Is
Bang.
Australia like the Texas of the world or something?
Well, it is a country colonized by criminals. So.
That is true.
Pew, pew, pew.
So things get heated up, and when one of the mob calls the boy retarded, this sets off the mother, who
starts and
she's like, "How dare you come? You don't come." She goes crazy.
I gotta admit, like, I thought her acting was pretty good, as far as being a crazy lady. Like, she did it pretty good. She, these horror movies aren't known for good acting. She was doing pretty good. And she's going off on him. And,
she's like,
I'll cut you, I'll kill you.
She's pointing fingers at everybody. Each time she points, she's like, you're fucked, you're fucked, you're fucked, you're all fucked.
You're cool.
Yeah, you're cool. I'm out. No. Like, you don't know who you're dealing with. And at that point, Blue's like, I've had enough of this. Just shoots John in the face, killing him.
Great effect.
I mean, it's like a slow mo, like you see half his face almost go off.
Just rip right off, yeah.
And the wife, like, snaps back, like, holy shit. She screams, runs to the house, grabs Charlie.
It's pretty funny because it's quiet, and Blue's looking at her like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
And then she goes, it's quiet for a second. Blue's like, It's pretty funny.
So she runs off into the house to grab Charlie. Now
No, I don't understand. They don't give chase. They just let him run
exactly.
back
They
in.
can just shot right there. There's 30 people with guns.
This is my thought. You shoot one guy, you just keep going.
You might, you're gonna shoot them all now.
Why are you
stop?
stopping?
Exactly. So that's it for now. We go back to the present, and Donkey says that's all he's heard about Charlie, and that Charlie's never been seen again. Some people say he was caught and killed by the locals. Others say he died in the outback, but others say he's still alive out there somewhere. So Tara then's like, thinks this is all stupid. Why are we going out there in the first place? I have a bad feeling about this. So she's against this from the get-go. Jumping ahead again, they're back on the road. Jason tells Tara to call Tony being Tony the Hitman Stewart, who was a locally famous ex-boxer who's played by Kane Hodder. And just like all the other people in the bar, Tony's like, why the fuck are you going out there? Just don't go to Charlie's Farm. So everybody in the world is telling, don't go out there.
For like weird, secluded little place, everyone knows this place is fucked.
Well, I mean, I get that. Like, I mean, if like, you know, if Charles Manson's ranch or something, like people are gonna know about it. Like, don't go out there if you're something like you say, like Michael Myers' house in the universe. Don't go to the Myers house. People are gonna know about this in those or kind of those things. So I get that.
So this is also funny. They talk to Kane Hodder. So yeah, we have another American.
Yeah.
So we have Tara Reid, we have Bill Moseley, now we have Kane Hodder. They're all Americans, just happen to be hanging out in Australia.
Yeah, hanging out in Australia. Yeah, and you don't know why they're there.
Yeah.
You never figure out why they're there. But it does,
I guess Kane Hodder wasn't a good enough boxer to be a boxer in the U.S.
So you get to a box.
So he goes to Australia to box kangaroos. I mean,
so, and he tells them that a couple of backpackers went missing out there a few days ago, which I just assume is the couple we see at the beginning of the movie.
right.
So eventually they arrived. They get off the phone like, fuck it, we're still going. They arrived at this locked fence, like way out in the middle of fucking nowhere. They're off road now. They're obviously off road. Overgrowth. Near a mailbox it says Wilson on it. So they found the farm. So they abandoned the Jeep. They just leave the Jeep and hop the fence and go in on foot.
Well, they couldn't go over. The fence was locked. Everything was locked, so they couldn't go through. So that's why they hopped it.
At the same time, it's a Jeep and there's a flimsy-ass fence. They could have easily just drove right over that, through it or over it.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking you could have got it. It's not going to be difficult.
It was
to get
not
through.
a sound.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thick, heavy fence. It was like chicken wire almost. So anyway, now we cue the walking montage, and now they walk and
it's
walk,
like Lord of the
walk.
Rings.
Yeah,
Jeez.
because at one point someone says, "Oh, it's like 1,000,000-acre farm," and like
100,000 acres, I believe, is what they said.
I thought he said 1,000,000. Okay, but
well,
anyway, it's
fucking
supposed to be
huge.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah. So they say that they're supposed they're walking for like 2 hours at least. So they've been driving for like at least 8. Took a sleep, and now they're walking.
Yeah. Now they're walking for over 2 hours.
Yeah, this is it is like Lord of the Rings.
I mean, they even say that. We've been walking for 2 hours. What time is it? It's 4:30. Oh God, they're all freaking out.
Finally, they come to the old Wilson house, and of course, it's just like basically not just an overgrown wooden shack. It's all run down and shitty. They go inside. The walls have like random graffiti on them, left behind by other people who have braved it and said, "I've come here."
I survived Charlie's Farm.
People like write their names on the wall to signify that they've been there. Donkey breaks open down this door for Mel, and she finds this raggedy old teddy bear, which she decides to keep as a souvenir.
Yeah,
which that thing would be disgusting.
Yeah, it's got. And there's other like rotting dolls in there.
Yeah,
like dirty
again,
shit.
That thing we see a lot of like old toys are supposed to be scary, like old dolls and old tops, or there's like why? No, it's just run down dirty shit.
I don't have a problem with this as much because it's been abandoned for 30 years, so I get it. So I'm like, all right. But when earlier when we had the people going crazy, anyway.
So yeah, more time passes, night falls. The girls add their name to the wall, all their names, and this fades away into the second flashback. This one picks up pretty much right where the first one leaves off. The mob, led by Blue, storms the house looking for Meredith, the wife. They find the girl on the bed dead and like
she's been gutted.
She's like her whole torso is just cut open. Everything's
apart.
Organs are missing. And another corpse in the fridge.
Yeah, they explore the house. They find more corpses.
Yeah. Now we cut to Meredith and Char. They're running outside through the wilderness. She stops and tells them to hide in this barn, and that whatever happens, don't come out. So she takes off her shoes now in preparation for her last stand.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, all right, she means she's taking them shoes off. She taunts the mob, calling them a pack of faggots, while backing up into this room in the barn.
Yeah, I thought she had something up her sleeve or something.
Yeah, she was like, I'm going to lure you in here.
She took off her shoes. She's getting ready. She starts luring them back. No.
She just gets whacked over the head with a 2x4.
2x4.
And they tell her, like, they're asking, is there anyone else alive out here? Where are they? Where are the rest of the bodies? But crazy fucking Meredith refuses to tell them anything and just continues to curse at them and yell and rant and rave. They ask her where Charlie is. Where's the retard?
Yeah, where's the retard?
He's like,
where's the retard?
She's like, oh, he died 12 months ago. And then she bites Blue's hand. And this just pissed everybody off. So she ends up just getting beaten to death by the
they
mob.
said they beat her to death.
Yeah, they just beat her.
Pretty intense.
Yeah,
You got a bunch of guns, you know. I mean, this is where I think that you can almost feel bad for her to be beaten to death.
Yeah, it's
because I mean, you don't want to stoop to their level. They're monsters, okay? And then if you want to just take her out, you got all these guns, just bang, do it. You know, don't beat her to death.
Yeah, I thought that was like
that's not cool.
Yeah, I can't listen. They gave all these guns. Like, I would understand if they shot the wife, if they shot the wife and then beat John to death, like, just because maybe reverse sexism, but it's because it would be beating a guy to death is a little easier to, in a weird way, to watch stomach than beating a woman. But she's crazy and obstinate the whole time. She's insane. But so now we go back to the present. Now this is either like a major oversight in the script or just bad writing here. But Donkey is the one telling the story this whole time.
Yeah.
But earlier, at the end of it, he says he doesn't know what happened to Charlie and Meredith, but now he just did. He just tells them what happened.
Meredith told them what happened.
Charlie watched his mom die and was left, and so he just went from I have no idea what happened to here's what happened. It's like, so it got fucked up there. And after some more chit chat and a bad Charles Manson joke, the girls go to bed. Mel sleeps with the teddy bear. During the night, Mel wakes up to see a very large man standing in the doorway watching them sleep.
This is ridiculous.
It's fucking retarded. Because instead of screaming or like waking the others, like, hey guys, there's somebody fucking here. She's like, I'll go back to sleep.
She's asleep at Charlie's farm.
At Charlie's
the
farm.
notorious death farm where people are killed and backpackers are lost. And she's sleeping there. And she wakes up, looks forward, sees this hulking figure in the doorway with the backlit, scary motherfucker. And she's just like, well,
all right.
Good night.
Exactly.
What
like,
the hell?
The same thing. Like, what?
What?
No, that would not happen.
I don't fucking get it.
I mean, it's not like they were drunk or high before, like, oh, she was hallucinating.
No.
She just straight up woke up in the middle of the night,
looks at the figure,
and goes back to sleep.
Oh, God.
It's stupid. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, and it's not like she's a little sleepy and clear. I mean, she
wide-eyed,
clearly looking at this guy.
Yeah,
it's not like she's kind of sleepy, like rolling over in the middle of the night and kind of look and glance and like, what the fuck? Shake her head and then it's gone. It wasn't anything like that. It was clearly looks at it.
Like the double take. He's there. Oh, he's gone. Like, oh, okay, now I'll go back to sleep. It's like there's definitely somebody standing there. But I'm gonna go back to fuck.
Just wiped out.
I'm just too tired to deal with this.
This walk was a bitch. I'm going back to sleep.
So the next morning, two more backpackers, Alyssa and Gordon, show up out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
They just hike their way up.
Just out of nowhere. They just show up, and I'm like, oh, here's some more fodder.
Exactly. You know? That's exactly what it is.
We just raised the body count.
Yeah. So they all introduce themselves, they eat breakfast together,
and they're worthless. They're just bodies.
Yeah, they really are. And again, I have so much problem with this because one, where do they get the fucking plates from? They're eating like not like camp plates, but like real like China plates that do they bring those with them?
Do they find them there?
And if you find them there, I wouldn't be eating off those.
No.
They'd be filthy. And not just the plates, but where did the food come from? I mean, they're not eating like trail rations or MREs. They're eating fresh cooked sausage. Where did that come from? They don't even have a cooler. How did they get the food there? Where is it?
I didn't even think about that, man.
They walked 2 hours and it drove like 10 of these with a Jeep. No cooler, nothing, but they have fresh sausage that stays good that they can cook up for breakfast.
They did have beans, too. They kept eating beans.
Canned beans, I'll give them that, whatever, but fucking sausage.
Fucking sausage. I feel like that should be a shirt. Fucking sausage.
So, Mel wants to sew Alyssa, whatever, the teddy bear, but it's gone missing.
Yeah, she's like, oh, look, the new hikers show up, and she's like, oh, I'm going to show them the teddy bear.
Yeah.
She goes around and looks for it, and then she says, oh, yeah, by the way, guys. She even says it. She even says
but
it.
not until Jason and Donkeys were like, they didn't touch it. Like, wait, we didn't move the table. We didn't touch it. And that's when you're like...
She just confesses. She's like, you know what, guys? In the middle of the night, I woke up and I saw this giant dude standing watching us.
Yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
And they're like, Oh, don't worry about it. It's probably just a dream. All of them were like, who fucking, nobody cares.
And it's the doll's missing. Everyone's like, no, I didn't touch it. They even say, I remember you going to sleep with that. That's right, you did.
Yeah.
And now it's gone, and she talks about this giant figure. I'd be like, all right, we're getting the fuck out.
Get the fuck, exactly. Exactly. So, but no, instead what do? They decide to split up into groups of 2 and wander around the million-acre farm or whatever the fuck it is.
And this is Donkey's idea because he wants to donkey dick Mel.
Yeah, so yeah, you got Tara and Jason, Mel and Donkey, and then the 2 fodder, the 2 body count people that don't matter. Donkey and Mel come to this hole in the ground, which Donkey says is an old mine shaft, and there's like they make a big deal to mention like this noxious odor coming out from the hole, but they ignore it for now and they move on. And they come to a river, and Donkey's like, "Hey, let's go swimming." Then whatever. So he strips down to his skivvies, and he goes. Reluctantly, Mel joins him, takes off her sundress, but there's no nudity in this. You don't see anything. She goes swimming.
This is kind of a funny thing too. It's like the writers got it wrong. So far in this movie, we've seen Donkey in his underwear way too much.
This is the second time.
He's been naked, shirtless, topless. We're seeing the big, beefy dude naked and unclothed more than anyone else in this whole movie.
If he was a gay, he'd be a bear. He's
big
he's
time.
a bear.
Big beefy bear.
Big beefy bear. Big beefy bear.
Big beefy bear.
So
the 3 Bs are wrong this time.
Yeah, the opposite 3 Bs. So now we go to Gordon and Alyssa. They find this barn, but it's locked, so they look for another way in. And as they're walking around, Gordon finds this wicked-looking axe leaning up against the side of the barn. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to come back for this later," and leaves it there. Now, this axe isn't like a normal axe. I mean, it's not huge or gigantic, but it's just the way it's...
It looks like something out of a fantasy video game.
Yes,
or something.
like it's something you see like an orc in Lord of the Rings,
right.
swinging around. Because it's got like the axe blade, and then behind on the rear of the axe blade, it's like all teeth, spikes or teeth.
Yeah, and it's got like almost like
a curved wooden handle. Half.
It's very cool looking axe. Yeah.
But it's not like your typical axe you would ever see.
It's cool looking.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a combat axe. So you're seeing so he's like, I'll come back for this later. And they find an open door. They enter this barn, and Alyssa's like, it smells like a dead animal in here. It stinks. And they come across this bed that looks like someone's been sleeping in it recently. I mean,
looks pretty fresh.
Yeah, it's got clean sheets on it, and
everything else is dusty and shitty looking. This looks clean.
Yeah. So they're like, let's get the fuck out of here. So they actually had the right idea. So they move, they leave. But as soon as Gordon steps outside, he gets hit in the chest by the very axe he decided to leave behind. So he's just axe in the chest. He's dead. Charlie steps into view. Monster of a man. Alyssa slams the door closed, bars it, but he's able to break it down. He starts to search for...
Here's Charlie. So we've had all this build-up about Charlie. We've had the build-up of the killer, all this build-up, and I'm a little disappointed.
He looks kind of like a homeless Sasquatch, is what...
Nice. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. A homeless Sasquatch. Kind of like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
He looks like...
He's like if Harry and Henderson had like... hair removal like laser or something like that. Remove some of the hair, like paralysis around his face or something.
But even like he's wearing animal fur.
Yeah, he's wearing furs.
So he just looks like a Sasquatch. Yeah, he's got a shitty beard. His teeth are fucked up.
Long hair,
yellow eyes. He just looks like a scrubby Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, very exact. I thought the same thing, but at the same time, like, you know what? The look, like, I get it. Like, it doesn't bother me too much. I wasn't expecting, like, it's not going to be, I'm glad it wasn't like he wasn't running around like let's say, bring it back to like Lumberjack Man. Like, he wasn't wearing a stupid mask.
Yeah.
And he wasn't, he was just a giant, disfigured, scary guy who's been living in the wilderness for 30 years on his own. So I get it. It didn't bother me that much.
Yeah, well,
it fit his story and his environment.
Sure. And maybe I should rephrase this. When I say I was disappointed, okay, yeah, his look was... I got no real problem with this look. But we have all this build-up, and so many movies sometimes just kind of like they show you little bits of him here and there, or he comes out in the dark, or he's that shadowy figure.
Yeah,
or,
well, they did that at the beginning. You see
but the reveal, I guess it's because it's the middle of the day, and I'm like, oh well, he's just a guy. You know, it's not as intimidating or as scary. I'm just like, oh, he's just a big dude. So I don't know. I was just kind of like, oh, I felt a little let down.
Okay, that's fair enough. So eventually, he eventually finds her, drags her out of her hiding spot, smashes her head against the back of his old tractor, and knocks her out. Knocks her out briefly. Now, with her head like right behind the rear tire,
he gently places her down with her head behind the tire.
Yeah, and then he goes to the front track and pushes the tractor so that the tire pins her head, like she's pinned on the tractor with this massive tire. And she wakes up.
Then she wakes up.
Yeah. And as she wakes up, Charlie stands in the back of the tractor, and with one quick like hop or jump, he just crushes her head underneath the weight of the tractor, and her head just like splits open like a fucking coconut or something like that. Just blah.
And he just goes, ha ha ha. Yeah. I'm like, and I think that was that moment. I was just like, oh. I'm just like, oh, jeez.
Yeah. This is like, they kind of play up the retard. He's like a giant kid.
He's just lets out this giddy laugh. And you can see he's just this fucking nasty man. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, God.
So we jump to Jason
It's
Tara.
like there's no sick fascination with it. There's no, like, sometimes, like, the things that are scary, it's like, it's almost like perversion, almost like a cathartic experience. He just seems to be having fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's
he's
silly.
He's a retard. He's got the mind of a 5-year-old or something who's like,
yeah.
So we go to Jason Tara, and they find another old rundown shack or shed. I think or it's the same one. They just on the other side of the building. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
They find a different one. It's separate.
Is it separate?
Yeah.
Okay. And Tara refuses to go inside, so she waits outside for Jason while he goes in and explores. Now we cut to Kane, aka Tony, in his house talking to his wife about wanting to drive out so he can find Jason and Tara because he's worried about them. So he's like, "Well, fuck it, off I go."
Yeah, he's like, I just got this feeling.
And she's like, "Dude." They said be back tomorrow. Chill out.
They're adults.
Yeah,
you know?
they're not like 12 year. They're not teens or like 16-year-olds with their first time license drivers.
Tara Reid's 42. Okay, she can take care of herself. Except she's not doing a good job feeding herself. I'll tell you that. She's not doing good in the eating department.
So and that's it. He leaves. That's it. Now we go back to Donkey and Mel swimming in the river, frolicking around, having fun.
It looks like he's finally gets putting on the moves.
Because Donkey takes off his underwear and tosses it away, and he starts kissing on Mel's neck, and she begins freaking out, saying, "Oh God, he's huge!" And of course, he's thinking she's talking about his dick. And he's like, so he keeps going. He's like, "No. He's huge," and points out there's Charlie standing on the riverbank behind him.
Charlie's standing on the riverbank waving.
Yeah. He's like Donkey gets out of the water, walks up to Charlie and tells him, like, "Hey, piss off guy, come on, just get out of here." I'm trying to get some. And he's face to face with Charlie, who doesn't do anything except like weirdly giggle and laugh and be like,
I mean, he gets so close to him.
Yeah.
This all right, again, I have another problem here. I mean, yeah, you're naked, you're vulnerable. You know this is Charlie's farm. You know there's killers. This guy looks like evil Harry and the Hendersons. And you walk right. I mean, Donkey's a beefy dude. This guy makes Donkey look
small,
tiny.
Yeah,
because Nathan Jones is 7 foot tall, 350 pounds. But the guy is so big, and he walks right up to him.
No, I'd be like, "Holy shit, let's swim. We're gonna swim to the other side of the river and get out on that side."
Yes, exactly. Like, guess what? It looks like I'm running around.
I
naked
would be running around naked, but we're going that way.
Yeah.
And not to mention the fact that, yes, he walks way up to him. He's huge. He's dirty. He looks evil. He's holding a giant fucking weapon. Like, are you kidding me? It's not hidden by any means. It's giant.
It's clear as a fucking daisy.
Yeah.
He's got a giant, like, customized machete.
Okay, yeah, let's talk. I was going to talk about this machete later, but let's talk about it now. Fuck it. This machete looks like it's more than a machete. It looks like a smaller, like, Naginata or Naginata, if you know what that is, Japanese martial art weapon. Just like a little shorter. It is huge.
Yeah.
It is a medieval weapon of death.
Yes.
There's no machete. It's not like Jason's machete.
And again, it's customized. It's got unique spikes and teeth
on it.
Yeah.
It's like custom made, like he made it or something.
Yeah, and it's cool looking too.
Quan Dao, I think, is what the Chinese version of it's called.
Look at you dropping knowledge.
Yeah.
The Kwandao guys.
Kwandao.
You should know what it is, right? Yeah.
Nobody knows what that is. So eventually he's like, Donkey looks back at him and says, "Oh, it's okay. He's hard. I think he's just retarded." And that's the wrong thing to say because after hearing that, Charlie, in one fluid and quick motion, just slices off Donkey's dick with his fucking machete thing. And
they do a close-up shot.
This close-up effect is awesome, by the way. Like there are some really good effects in this movie. It's great. I mean, it looks like they really just cut a guy's dick off. It's the most realistic.
Pretty disturbing.
Yeah, it's the most realistic decapitation I've ever seen.
See hairy balls, everything. Obviously, it's there's no dick.
Yep.
It's been cut off, and there's a bloody stump kind of area.
And you get the pubic hair and
blood gushing out. It's terrifying.
Like, I was actually looking for like the seams, like where you put the prosthetic and they blend it in. I couldn't even find the seams, so they may have digitally removed them, but I mean it looked really good. Really good. Mm-hmm. Donkey falls to his knees screaming. Charlie picks up the severed penis and violently jams it down Donkey's throat, and then for good measure gives him like a swift palm strike to the mouth, like forcing the dick even further in. Donkey falls down dead.
Yeah. Killed by Donkey Dick.
Donkey Dick.
Donkey Dicked.
He was dick to death.
Ooh, Donkey Dick to death.
Donkey Dick to death. 3Ds.
3Ds. 3D.
So Mel takes off running now, and Charlie gives chase. Now, I love what happens next. I actually really like this scene. He grabs her by the back of her, and most of it's kind of done slow motion, or slow, not real slow, but slower.
Yeah,
and he grabs this back of the sundress, yanks her back, but the force of his strength like pulls her off of her feet and into the air. And while she's in the air, he like lifts her up a little bit higher and then slams her like straight down to the ground on her back, knocking the air out of her.
And it's all done in slow motion. It's kind of, I mean, I hate to use the word beautiful, but it's really
that's what I say. It's shot the way it's shot, and it's the cinematography
really
in this
good.
is really
yeah.
good.
And she's got to have some of the best material in the world, because the way he pulled her, I think that would just rip right off of her body.
I would think so too.
Because she's running away, so the force of her running away and him pulling back.
She's got like a Teflon sundress.
Yeah, she's got some quality garments there.
That's some good stitching.
Yeah. None of that China shit.
Yeah.
No.
I kind of thought I saw the same thing. That dress held up.
Because it's pretty flimsy looking.
Yeah.
But man, it holds up real well.
It's like it's made of Spider-Man's web material
right.
or something like that.
It's got tensile strength to hold up a truck. You know?
So now as soon as she slams down hard and the wind's knocked out of her, he like mounts her and like toys her a little bit, but like just kind of toys her just a little bit, and then he reaches into her mouth and starts violently and brutally yanking on her.
Fucking mankind, you know?
Yeah, like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
He's giving like the mandible claw.
Yeah. It's like I'm just waiting for Mr. Sacco to come out.
And so he grabs her like a bowling ball and just rips her entire lower jaw off. And again, the close-up visual of the special effect is really good. Because what you see left of her face, it's like you see her like trying to swallow, like you see like her tongue or her throat twitch or something. What's left of it?
Yeah.
Again, really good effect here. And that's it. She's dead.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Lower mandible removed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty much donezo.
So night begins to fall now, and we're back to Tara, who's still sitting outside waiting for Jason. And I'm like, holy shit. He's been in that shack for hours.
She said 5 minutes.
Yeah, like I'm waiting 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
More like 5 hours.
Forever.
Yeah. Like, what is he doing in there? And she's like, I'm out of here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, I might just skip something in my notes. Yeah, I did skip something. So at this point, she approaches the building, and I do notice that it's much bigger than I originally thought it was the first time I saw it. At first, I thought it was like a little shed or barn, but now it's like this giant metal, almost like warehouse, grain house, something like that.
Yeah, it's like something for cattle.
Yeah, like livestock. It's livestock. Yeah. And she stands outside yelling at Jason, calling him an asshole, blah, blah, blah. And now we see Kane entering the old farmhouse, looking for Tara and Jason. He spots their names on the wall, like, okay, they're here, they've been here. And it just turns and leaves again. So he's like, okay, they're not in the house.
So Kane has now arrived.
Kane has arrived.
Remember, this place is hours and hours and hours.
You know what? I didn't even until you about to say. I didn't even think about that. He shows up like almost instantly,
Yeah.
and they now. Grant, he could have lived closer, but the fact I highly doubt it because
Considering they know him. They live. I'm
they
assuming
assume
he
they
lives
live
in town.
In town, yeah.
Right.
They must live somewhere
they're
close.
buds,
They're
yeah.
buds somehow, or friends with like his father. Like they
Yeah.
don't really know how they know each other, but they know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
And you're right. He just shows up like instantaneously.
Right. They know enough. They know each other well enough that he feels obligated to go out
Yeah.
there and see if they're okay.
Right. Oh, God, I wish I would have thought about that myself. But that's a great
it's
point.
just so annoying.
Yeah.
Another thing, real quick too, is this place is this thousands of acres, and they split up into groups that are they're so far away they can't hear each other scream.
Yeah.
They can't hear each other, and it's pretty flat.
Oh yeah, it's
Land,
real flat.
I mean, there's a few places with trees, but not much.
Mhm.
And so the killer, our Charlie, has to go several acres from place to place to place without being seen.
Very true.
Without, he's 7 feet tall. He's pretty easy to see. He's
Now-
about the size of a tree.
Now, the only thing I could think of that it just dawned on me while you were saying that is what comes up later at the end with the tunnels.
Yeah,
he could
I
be
mean-
doing like a Ninja Turtle thing and like going underground, popping up, or Mario going down the pipes and popping up
I
another.
like Ninja Turtles better. I just
Yeah.
imagine him eating pizza. Cowabunga.
So, but but
Yeah.
I thought about the same thing too when I was first watching. I was like, how is he getting around so quickly in this giant wide open farm? Anyway, so meanwhile, Tara, she has finally entered the barn, warehouse, whatever it is. She's wandering around in the dark looking for Jason. She's yelling out for him, like, where are you? Where are you? And she finally hears Jason whispering. He's like, shut up. I'm ready to get over here. Like, something's up. And she finds him hiding under like this dirty, cluttered like workbench or something like that. And he pulls her down and he's like, there's somebody here. They're going to kill us. He's going to kill us. We got to hide. Yeah. And on that cue, Charlie enters. Jason like covers Tara's mouth and they keep her from, scream or anything like that. And once Charlie leaves the line of sight, they make a run for it. But of course, Charlie hears them instantly and find the doors locked. They sneak away looking for another exit with Charlie
Searching the house. So it's almost like we're back to the opening scene.
It really, yeah.
They're a couple being quiet, trying to hide while the killer,
And this is where,
stalks
again,
around.
like, look, this is probably where that opening
Same,
scene
yeah,
was.
exactly.
But again, it doesn't make any sense because the very, very scene it makes it look like Charlie's like above them.
Right.
But there's obviously no second floor to this building.
Right.
It's really fucking weird. That's the one that's really weird. So, anyway, now Kane has also entered the same barn warehouse, and it doesn't take long for him to cross paths with Charlie. They have a standoff, get ready to fight. Charlie tosses his naginata machete thing into the wall.
I do before we get there.
Okay.
I do like this part where Kane's walking around looking. He's like, "Hey, where are you guys at? Is that you, Jason?" He says that, and I'm like, is that a clever little nod
Jason.
to Jason Voorhees?
Yeah, I noticed the fact that Jason is.
He goes, is Kane Hodder saying, "Is that you, Jason?" And I was like, right.
Well, it's funny because actually earlier in the movie,
Right.
Tara Reid makes a reference like, "Oh, Jason has one of those Halloween hockey masks." He's like, "No, it's an official Jason Voorhees mask."
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah. They gave it a little shout out.
Yeah. Excuse me. So, Charlie tosses his machete naginata aside. The blade sticks in the wall, which nearly kills Tara on the other side of the wall. Now Kane starts to box Charlie. He starts fist fighting with the guy. And Kane, he jabs Charlie several times in the face.
He just keeps throwing that jab.
Yeah, has no effect on him. And seeing this, he starts throwing some combinations. He's hitting the body a few times, uppercut, hooks, overhands. He finally manages to bring Charlie down to one knee, but Charlie just bounces back, pins Kane against the wall. While this fight's going on, Tara and Jason are on the other side of the wall.
Pissing their pants.
They're trying to sneak away quietly. Charlie's trying to push Kane's face in this large metal spike sticking out of the wall. Kane fights back, breaks free. Jason and Tara now see the fight. Jason's like, we gotta help him. Tara's like, fuck that. We gotta get out of here. We gotta go. Kane gets grabbed again. Charlie begins to rip his throat open like Roadhouse style.
with his hand.
Like
yeah.
I said, Patrick Swayze,
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Jason comes up from behind Charlie and hits him over the head with this large wrench. Kane falls to the floor, seemingly dead. And Charlie turns, drops like the fleshy chunk of throat that's still in his hand, drops it to the floor. grabs Jason. Jason's able to yell, "Run!" to Tara right before his throat is just brutally slashed.
It's more like sawed into.
Yeah, it's not even sliced. It's like
he's just
hacking
away,
almost like decapitating this guy.
Yeah, you see his face kind of turning pale.
Yeah,
like
you
the
see like
blood's
the color
draining out.
Yeah,
the color. It's
good effect.
Great effect.
Yeah. Jason dies on his knees, staring at Tara as the blood just like gushes out of his neck. She turns to run outside, but finds herself running through like this narrow like livestock filtering fence, like one of those things like you filter cows through.
Yeah, like to the slaughterhouse or to a pen or something like that.
It's like, you know, single file. I don't know what that's run maybe a livestock run.
I think it's called a run.
So and Charlie's close on her heels. She gets out of we'll call it a run. She gets out of the thing, tries to find this old abandoned car, which is just what?
I don't get. She's running. He's right behind her.
It's like,
and she runs right into the car.
It's like
where
he clearly see you.
Clearly, yeah. It's what?
You're not being sneaky there. You're not pulling a Batman with vanishing high.
Well, you know what it is? She's fucking exhausted because all she had to eat for the week is a rice cake. So she just got no energy.
She has some of that fresh sausage that pulled out of nowhere. But yeah. So he just instantly finds her because he watched her go in there, and he leaps up on the car hood. And now we just cut to this underground mining
He smashes it open.
Yeah.
So that's where we cut.
Yeah, cut away. Tara wakes up in this wooden box. She's able to easily break out of it because it's really rotten, flimsy wood.
Yeah.
She's sneaking along all the tunnels. She finds more corpses and bones.
Different stages of decay.
Now, this tunnel looks like it belongs to a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Right.
Like, I almost like the tunnels from number 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, there's all this dirty, crazy shit down there. She does come across a teddy bear that Mel had earlier. She finds that. She also finds a necklace on another rotting corpse that she takes. So I guess this was originally hers, but
There's no reference to it. It just...
Thank you. Because I was going to ask, did you ever see her wear this?
Is she just a klepto?
Yeah.
Is she just like, oh, that's a fucking nice necklace.
It's not that. It's just like a silver chain with like a little heart on it. So I'm like, I guess like, oh, did Jason give that to her? Or is it hers?
There's no... connection.
It
just looks like she's a klepto. She's like, I'm so scared.
I thought I missed something.
Ooh, that's a nice necklace.
Shiny. And she takes in pockets this necklace.
Shiny.
I'm like, what the fuck?
And it has no reference back ever again.
Yeah, this is the first time I ever saw it. So like,
first time you see it, and
I'm guessing something got cut. Then
something
had to be something cut.
Because
then why not? If that got cut, why not cut this? Because it makes no fucking sense why she takes this necklace.
None. She's just crazy.
So now also
she has this horrible drive to steal.
I think the corpse she takes this off of is Charlie's mother's.
That's what I thought.
And the only reason I
she
say
looks
that
pretty decayed.
It's very decayed corpse, and she's also wearing a pearl necklace besides the one that Tara Reid takes. Like it's like so he's keeping like a mom, like what?
Kind of like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Now I can't verify that. It's just my theory, but it's the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
So Tara continues down these tunnels. She comes across like a body pit or just a pile of bodies.
Yeah, just more various stages of decay.
And a ladder that leads up to the surface. She's about to start climbing up when Charlie opens like the hatch above and starts climbing down. She's able to rush off and hide in like a dark alcove underneath like a dirty blanket. And Charlie doesn't see her. He passes her by. She gets up, scurries up the ladder, emerges from the hole in the ground this is the hole that Donkey and Mel found earlier. Mm-hmm. And as she emerges, she gets grabbed by Blue. Old Blue's back.
Old Blue.
And he's holding a rifle, and he's like, Charlie's down there. We gotta go. He's like, get to the truck.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy. Yep, I was waiting. One of us is going to have to do it.
I had to do it. I've been holding on to that one for a little bit. And I was like, well, he's about to die, so I better...
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Guess what's about to happen.
She runs for the truck as Charlie throws a hatchet at Blue, just getting him right in the back.
Dead center
in the back. Blue's dead. Looking back and forth between the truck and the rifle that Blue just dropped, Tara's like, what to do? She decides to run for the rifle. She runs up, grabs it, shoots Charlie square in the chest,
point blank.
Because he's like right about to grab her. He's on top of her. She stands over him for a few moments, looking for any signs of life. Like, is he dead? Is he dead?
And then she says the clever line, fuck you, Charlie.
Yeah. And so, satisfied he's dead, she drops the rifle and goes for the truck, which is locked. Now, again, if you're wanting to know he's dead, don't be stingy with the ammo.
Yeah.
Shoot him in the fucking head.
I totally agree. This is classic bad
Right.
bad writing, bad. I mean, you have this hulking beast
Yeah.
of a man who I believe could probably take a bullet or two to take down, unless you have a
Exactly.
fucking elephant gun.
It takes more than one bullet to bring down a bear.
Yeah, and he's
And he's
just
the size
about,
of a bear.
He's just about on par.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, she shot him point blank, pretty much dead center
Then, sir,
too.
but still, 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. We
Yeah.
all know the formula.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be stingy with the ammo here.
And why lead the gun? You know,
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Because you get to, if you didn't drop the gun, you could have used that to break the window open to get the keys
Well,
to the truck.
She may have been exhausted trying to hold it because she does weigh about 80 pounds.
80 pounds, and that's wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the truck's locked, and she tries to reach the keys for like the open window that's kind of cracked open, but she has
Surprised
no luck.
she just doesn't slither through.
Yeah, just I was going through the air
Yeah.
vents. She sees the reflection of Charlie standing behind her in the window. Charlie impales Tara through the stomach with the barrel of the rifle. She turns to face Charlie, who then grabs the barrel, lifts her off the ground by the rifle, then slams her against the truck. Still holding on to the rifle's barrel, he
Just rips it out.
He rips the rifle through her.
Organs and shit are just pouring out of her.
Yeah, just splattering the ground. She slides down the truck, dead. Charlie picks up her body, tosses it over his shoulder, and just carries her off into the night. Roll credits. That's Charlie's Farm.
Huh? What kind of ending is that?
Yeah.
God damn.
No, I'll say that's like I get like so many horror. That's like the thing these days. Like almost
Yeah.
everybody has to die now. No, there's never ever a
Now there's-
survivor.
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a big fan of Tara or like I like her character because the characters are. But I was like at some point I'm like I wouldn't mind if it went back to the form where there's one survivor. Like maybe she does escape. Maybe she shoots Charlie. She gets in the truck and drives away, and then like okay, Charlie sits back up, grabs the machete, goes back down his tunnel or something like that. You know, like I don't know. I'm just everybody dying all the time. It's getting played out.
Yeah,
like,
I
it's not
agree.
original
Mhm.
anymore.
I agree. Or maybe if you wanted to kill everybody, fine. But at the same time, there needs to be some sort of closure. There's no closure. It's like everyone just got killed and he's back to doing his thing again. You know, there's no.
No, that
End,
kind
you
of
know?
a closure.
Well, I
like
mean,
life goes on. Charlie stays at the farm going. doing his
Sequel
thing.
opportunities abound now,
Mhm.
I guess. You know, it's just.
Charlie's Farm too. Really, don't go to the farm.
Really?
Seriously,
Seriously.
don't go to the farm.
So yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I just don't think that those types of endings are fun. They're just they were kind of shocking at first.
And when they-
years ago,
years
it's like,
ago,
whoa, no one survived.
Everybody
Wow.
died. Wow. Now
Everyone
it's
died.
like everybody. Now it's like you can't get attached to any characters in horror movies because you know almost
There's a good
everybody's
chance
dead now.
everyone's gonna die.
Everybody's gonna
Yep.
die. Yeah. There's no Laurie Strode. There's no shit. What's her name from Heather Langenkamp from Fright Nightmare? She didn't survive all of them, but
Nancy.
Nancy, thank you. I mean, you know, or even Alice in Friday the 13th dies, but
Yeah.
nobody like they may sometimes survive 1 or 2, maybe 2 movies, get killed in the third or in the beginning, but nobody's living anymore. It's just it's ugh. Anyway, with that said, let's go on to favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill?
Now there were 11 total kills. Not Charlie didn't die. So yeah, 11 kills to choose from.
It's good body count.
Pretty solid number. And some really good gory kills.
Oh
in this
yeah,
one. Some great
I mean,
kills.
That's one thing I will say about this film. If you're a fan of gore kills, special effects,
Yeah.
good choice.
Really,
It's
yeah. So what's your favorite? What's your favorite kill this week?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of good ones, honestly. I think my favorite kill is the jaw rip. You know, I mean, just that whole sequence. I mean, kind of like I said, the cinematography, the way she flew up in the air. He's such a nasty, beastly, grotesque figure.
Yeah.
And she's this they portray her as this beautiful, very flawless type of with the flowing white and the slow motion, the way he picks her up, the dress is flowing. It's really great to watch.
There's just be doves flying behind
Yeah,
her
I
in
know.
slow motion. She falls. She's
But it's a
yanked
great
down.
contrast too. I mean, you have the hulking villain and the damsel in distress. So it's and of course the special effects of the jaw ripping off. And
Yeah.
stuff. It's just cool. I mean, it could never happen. I don't care how strong you are. I don't think you can really rip off a jaw like that. But it's cool.
I agree. That was definitely one of my choices. Like I was going back and forth. That whole sequence, like my favorite kill is gonna go donkey. Because
A decapitation.
decapitation, man. That's my MO.
You
Like,
love the decapitations.
and because those just make me like, oh god, oh no, and then just shove it in your, and then you choke on it, and it's like no. And again, the effects were so good. That whole both those back to back. That whole 5-minute sequence is great.
Well, if we do have a sequel, could have Donkey survived? Well, you do get your dick cut off. That's going to suck, but I don't think you're really going to bleed out.
If you're able to stop the bleeding, maybe, but he had to pull his own dick out of his mouth. The breathe. So
I can still breathe. If it hasn't completely blocked the airway, you can still breathe.
I'm
through
thinking
his
blocked
nose.
whole air because I mean that palm strike like really jammed it in there,
Solidified it.
solidified it. But I guess I would say if anybody, he's the one person who potentially
Maybe
could have survived.
Yeah.
I don't think Kane survives.
Nope.
His
I mean, he threw his throat on the ground.
yeah. But then he's out in the middle of nowhere walking back in the outback. He could die of exposure.
Yeah.
Because it's so far away, but Kane can teleport there instantly.
Yeah.
So my favorite. I'm going with Donkey for my favorite kill this week, with a very close second for Mel as well. Let's move on to odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, odds and ends this week. Ratings. IMDb 4.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, there is no official thermometer score, which kind of surprised me. I thought this would at least have that. And it only has a 20% audience score.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really low. And Amazon 3.5 out of 5. Now, there's a lot of times where I say the opposite, like, oh shit, I think that range is way too high for some of these movies we do. But I think this one, a 4.6 and 20%, I think are too low. I think they're a little low, personally for me. Plot keywords. So, again, only 2.
Huh.
Only 2. This movie was just ripe for crazy shit. But it's only 2, and they're basically related to the same damn thing.
What are they?
Castration, which again is a word, one key word. This is a key phrase. Is severed genitals shoved in mouth. That's it. There's no like killer, blood, decapitation. Australia, Outback, Jeep. There's nothing. It's just those two, like
Outback, Bonza, Kangaroo, Bloomin' Onion,
Foster's. I don't know. Again, trivia though, sadly, there was really nothing I could find trivia-wise for this movie. It was just that it was set in Queensland, Australia. That's all I could find. However, we do get to play the budget game.
Ooh.
It's now time to play everyone's favourite game. Guess the budget.
Indeed, ooh. So, Aaron, what is your guess for the budget of Charlie's Farm?
Yeah, I mean it was definitely made with better camera work. They had actual named actors and actresses.
That's true, but I don't think Tara Reid's fee is too high these days.
No, but I mean you still have to pay her. She's still a name.
Yeah.
As is Kane Hodder, as is Nathan Jones.
I would think a lot of the budget went to travel.
And Bill Moseley. I mean, these are all recognizable names. These are all.
Well, just travel to get them to Australia isn't going to be cheap either.
Sure, yeah. It looked like that. Obviously, it's probably really cheap to film there because they're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
There's probably not a lot of permits or crap they have to do. I'm gonna say $8 million.
You blew your wad.
Damn it! How much?
Budget for Charlie's Farm, $3 million.
Ooh, I blew it by 5.
$5 million over. But still, I mean, but still, obviously one of the better budget movies. Not a Jason X or anything, but still a good solid budget for straight an Australian independent horror movie. Which I don't even know. I guess it's not technically $3 million. You don't if that's considered independent anymore. But
Yeah.
it's not done like not a Lionsgate or a Paramount or anything like that. So let's move on to 5-star reviews.
Is this your guilty pleasure? 5-star reviews.
Now there were 3 5-star reviews. And oh my God, are we in for some grammar treats here with these? Holy shit!
Now, are these written by Australians?
I wish, but I have no way of knowing. But let's get into it. Farm ... Charlie is one bad boy ... Don't never go to his farm ... He loves to cut body parts off ... And in the first of the movie, his parents are like the wrong turn people ... They kill people only to eat them ... It's gross ... Period. There's our first period. ...
All right, if there's any more of that, we gotta stop because my God,
it makes Jason and Michael look like a baby. 4 dots that time. It's not as much scary period as it is gory period. A lot of blood. 5 dots. I don't never want to go to his farm ever. I can tell you that. 6 dots.
what the fuck? Let me see that. Ugh. This is really awful.
That's not even the worst one.
Oh my God. Carry on.
Carry on, son. From Raymond. A great horror movie for a stoned all-day horror fan like myself. LMFAO. 5 stars.
Okay.
That's just funny because stoned all day.
Yeah. Good for him.
Good for him. All right.
I hear you taking a breath here.
All right. All right. From one-handed hooker with a shotgun.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Spoilers, ? And in this corner, period, Kane, Jason Hodder, period. And in the other, ? Oh my goodness, spelled GUDNESS.
Oops.
Period. The heavyweight and undefeated Charlie, period. Wow, period. That dude, period. Man, they weren't kidding, KIDN, period. Kidding. This is one tough cookie, TUFF, period. This guy, Chuck, ain't no joke, period. And we thought Hodder as Jason was tough, period. Man, period. JUS, watch it, period. If you like your blood kills, gore, explicitives, that's foul language. Explicitives, in parentheses, that's foul language, comma. You're crazy as... Crazy spelled with a K as ever, EVR, Bill Mosley as Chuck's dear old IDGAF. I don't even know if that's a word. I'd gaff dad, comma. His crazy wife that steals the show as Charlie's mom. Who plays her anyway, ? We need more of her crazy, nasty self, parentheses. Your narrative scythe toten left hook bad guy that don't mess around with his killing. Watch him catch that chick one-handed, pick her way up in the air, and slam her down with a tad of Australian outback and campfire-told urban legend humor. Come true, you're gonna love this. Toonces survived Charlie's farm. Will you? ? And gives 2 paws way up. You will too. I mean 2. Smiley face.
What the fuck? Sounds like you're reading a different language.
I know. What is wrong with people these days?
That's awful. That was like reading Chaucer's Tales or something, and like a weird old English being formed into a new language.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's what the fuck is wrong with people that they can't. Oh. Go back to school.
That's bad.
That's awful.
That's really bad.
Oh. You can't even make logic out of that. What did I just
read? Did you say something about Toonces? Isn't that the driving cat from Saturday Night Live in the 70s?
Yeah. Like 2 paws. Like what? I don't even know what I just read. Like, I don't even know what I read.
Oh.
All right. Let's
Yikes.
Oh, fucking A, Moongoons. Fucking A. All right. Let's final recommendation, final thoughts on this, Aaron. What do you gotta say about Charlie's Farm?
Well, I'm gonna have to say so bad it's scary.
Really?
So bad it's scary. The effects were great, and the effects they were really good. it just didn't do anything for me.
Okay.
It really didn't. I didn't like Charlie. I didn't really like the way it was done. I don't like that the flashback scene. That's just not my style. So for me, so bad it's scary. Don't bother watching it. I mean, the only thing it's got good going for it is the effects. And they are great. They're fantastic effects. They're really good. But that wasn't enough for me to enjoy them. It wasn't enough to save it.
Okay. I was actually on the other side of the fence. I'm saying so bad it's good, but in a way, but kind of opposite. Like the exact same reason. Like the effects are great. Watch it for that. The kills are good. Yeah, there are some parts that I didn't care about. The flashbacks I could care less about. And some of the stuff, but there's some really good cinematography. Like I said, with Mel's death, the effects are good. I didn't mind Charlie. I thought for a killer in the Australian outback, it didn't bother me as much. Like, he could have been better. I could have done without some like the child like giggling, but I know he's supposed to be like a man child, and but it didn't bother me overall. Homeless Sasquatch didn't bother me that much.
Homeless Sasquatch? He's a kid out in the middle of nowhere. One, he's retarded.
Yeah.
He's about 10 years
I
old.
get the fact he shouldn't be alive at all.
And how the fuck did he get the steroids? I mean, he's juiced the tits.
Yeah.
The guy's so big. What is he eating? Like radioactive kangaroo meat? Like how the fuck is this happening?
Yeah.
How does he survive out there? I mean, maybe he hunted, maybe he killed, but to get that physique, that huge, massive man, and he has electricity in the basement there of that weird little tunnel. So, okay, where's he get the electricity from? Maybe they cut the electricity. All right,
Did
fine.
he really have electricity?
Yes, he had
down there?
lights down there. So, okay, the electricity, okay, so they cut it. Well, maybe he has a generator. Well, it has to run on gas. He can't do that for 30 years without going and getting more gasoline.
Okay,
or
well, I can
something.
make an argument there. It could be siphoning it from all the cars, the people he kills that come to his farm.
Oh, that's not bad.
Because they do show a side where they're walking through a field with a bunch of old abandoned cars in it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
my devil's
possibility.
advocate on that
It's a
one.
possibility. All right.
And I do see it. There's holes in the story. I get that. But I'm just saying just sit down, watch it don't take it serious, just for fun. Watch it for the kills. The kills are good. It's not the worst movie. I mean, we've seen far worse.
Totally agree. And like I'm saying, I'm still saying so bad it's scary, but it's close for me. Don't get me wrong.
It's a close
I
one.
teeter over the side, but overall, I would say don't
I did it. We were on the opposite side a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like you said good, I said scary, and same thing. I fell on the opposite side of the fence.
Yeah.
So we're split on this one. So leave it up to you guys, Moon Goons. If you want to watch it, it's on you.
Yeah.
We did our job. So with that said, remember check us out on Facebook. You can check us out. Please check out our website, horriblehorrorpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Twitter for get all the updates and when we post new episodes at So Bad It's Scary. You can check out our Instagram page. We also, like I said, interactive there. That's where we got the suggestion for this movie. And we are also, you can download and listen to the episodes at Podbean, horriblehorrorpodbean.podbean.com. Of course, iTunes is always free there. Subscribe to it. Check us out. And of course, now Google Play as well.
Play.
All these are free. Check them out. Hope if you have any suggestions, comments, let us know. Hit us up. Multiple ways to do it. In the meantime, that's going to take care of it for this week. Any closing words, Aaron?
No real closing words. Although this is the month of October. We're here. I mean, it's the horror month of the year.
It is.
Enjoy your October. Watch some horror movies.
Indeed.
Watch some good ones.
Watch some good horror
We
movies.
watch some crappy
let
ones.
Let us watch the shit. You guys watch some good ones.
Is there anyone you'd recommend? I always recommend the very first Halloween. That's the one
Well, you
I
take
always
that.
recommend.
Yeah, of course.
Number
Everybody
one.
should know
Number
that.
one.
Everybody should know that by now. Yeah. You know what? I caught me off guard. I'll maybe have an answer for that next week.
Okay,
I'll
sounds good.
come up with a good suggestion.
Perfecto.
But in the meantime, watch some good horror movies. And remember, keep it tight, y'all.